So we've got 7 people that have joined us here. So make sure if you have not joined our Schoology course, there is the code. I just pasted it in, but paste it in again. Once you're in here, make sure you go to and click on the gold button. That's the magic button that's going to get you in for our prize drawing at the end. Let's see how many people have filled that out. Oh, shoot, I did something wrong here. Hold on, I'm going to delete. I cleared instead of deleting. Hold on. Let me delete those rows. That way we're back up. Okay, good. So Aaron is registered in, and Brandy and Janelle, but that's it. That's the only ones that have registered so far for our prizes. So if you
want a prize,
make sure you fill out that form. This is interesting. I'm in a weird place here, sitting, trying to do this. Okay, y'all.
I'm so excited to learn more about Cami because you've really investigated, and so I feel like I'm going to learn a lot tonight too. So I'm super excited.
I am so excited that we have purchased Cami. I know for years we have discussed how we wanted this, but I'm just glad we finally have it as an option for all the paid features, because it had great, I mean, you could do a lot with it, even just using the free version. But now that we have access to all of it,
and there's one feature I cannot wait for you to share, and I'm not going to give it away because you probably know which one that I'm thinking of that I keep thinking about, but I won't say what it is.
I don't know. I might not have the right feature. I may not be thinking about your feature.
No, there's one feature that I know you're going to talk about that I think is a game changer. And so I'm so excited, but I won't give it away.
You watch. I'll probably. So while we're waiting in the chat, those of you that are already here, tell me what your favorite piece of Cami is at the moment. Before we've even started, what do you like about it right now? And then we're going to see if it changes by the end. If maybe something that we talk about or show you might become your next new favorite thing about Cami. And also make sure when you go to make a comment, this is the webinar feature, but make sure you change it from to all panelists to all panelists and attendees so that everyone can see your comment.
No, we've had a couple extra people join, so I'll add that Schoology code one more time.
The annotate, yep, I'd love to be able to annotate. That's a good one. That's a good one, Brandy. That's a good one. And hopefully by the end of this, you're going to see that it's more than just a
it's more than a worksheet.
A digital worksheet on a computer. I'm gonna have to close this door. Hold on, because my parents' dog has started barking. Ooh, showing math work.
Okay, 2 more people joined, so I'm gonna add that code back in. I know that I love just the ease of it with the extension. It's not really, it's part of the features, but just I love how when you're making it in Schoology, you can just click that Cami button and insert it so easily.
Hey, I just can't get away from little barking dogs no matter what house I go to. Okay, guys, it is 7:45. We are going to get started. Oh, we have 15 people. So hopefully everyone has joined our Schoology course. Emily just put the code back in. Make sure once you're in, we're going to draw for prizes at the very end. So make sure you click on that. Click here to enter, to fill out that form. Okay, Aaron likes, I really like being able to use it as a whiteboard. Yep.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it was very useful during remote, you're right, remote learning. Okay, so we're going to get started, and as more people join, so keep, I see some other
I'll
people.
Keep posting the code in every time I see someone join.
So there's just so many great features with this, with Cami. In this first one, y'all don't have to open this up, but I'm going to just show you what all's in here, because this getting started with Cami, one thing I will tell you that you might want to come back and read in a little while, or after this is over, because you'll have access to this course, because in here it does talk about making sure that you have the extension. You know, you have to have that extension. Now, we did as a district push it out to all students, but it's not pushed out to teachers. I really thought it was going to be. And then if the kids aren't seeing it, or if you're not seeing it, or if there's ever a time where they're thinking it's not on there, always have them double check by clicking up here. Oh, I didn't want to click up there. Sorry. I didn't want to do that just yet, but right click on it. They can also make sure it's turned blue. You want to make sure it's on, that it's up here. Okay. If it's not, they can just click on that little puzzle piece, and it's hard to see with my little screen right here, but it's right there, and they can pin it so it's showing up here and they can easily get to it. And I've got those instructions. You want to make sure that the kids and you all log in with Google, because you want to get that the paid features. Down here at the very bottom of this page called How to Log In with Cami are two links. One is the complete step-by-step student guide with Cami and Schoology, and then we've got the teacher one. So I just wanted you to know where those are, so that when you're back in your classroom and back wherever, and you need to remember, you can always go back there and get those guides, because they're inside of there. So we're not going to spend any time in that, but there's the other one we're really not going to spend time in, but I'm just going to show you, so you don't need to open this up. But inside of here, I have step-by-step with pictures telling what each tool does and looks like, and all kinds of information. Okay, so we're going to kind of talk about a lot of this, but it's in here for you to go back later. If you can't remember a tool, you can always come back in and get that information. Okay, all right. So what I do want you to do, I did go ahead and I decided, because I want each of us working in our own copy, so I went ahead and set this up. I'm gonna before we open this, I don't want you to open it just yet. I'm going to go ahead and click on the word edit, because I do want to show you something you need to make sure you're doing. So when you're working with Schoology and you want everyone to have their own copy, you want to make sure you're using this Cami button when you set that up. Okay. All right. So I'm going to exit that out. All right. So go ahead and click on Cami Practice, because we're going to look at some of the features and practice a few things on this one, and then we'll go into the next one. When you open this, you don't want, and let's give it a minute because it's still processing. Don't open it here, because that's going to just keep you in the PDF. You want to make sure your kids and so click on Open the Assignment with Cami. And we're going to do a few things, and we're just kind of do them together in here. Some of these are free features, but a few of them in here are the paid. Now, if you've never used this, it's going to ask you to log in with Google, or with that. Yeah, sign in with Google. So it's going to ask you to do that if you've never used Cami before. Okay, so in here, we're going to start playing with a few things. So over here, you know, we see our toolbar all over here. So the very first thing I want you to do on this is, I don't have that button. James doesn't have this Cami button.
It would be the one from the
assignment.
wait.
It's, you know why he doesn't have it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sorry. And there goes a dog. I can't.
They know why you don't have it. And they know why it's not showing up.
This dog is like, I know why. Okay, James, you look up here and of course, text. I just can't win. Text. Okay. See this Cami extension? I may have to let him out. Stop. Come here.
Do you see that Cami button up at the top?
You have to have this Cami button turned. You have to have the extension. So let's step back a minute while this dog is like going nuts. Text. Come here. Emily, can you talk? Okay.
Yes.
You
So
came
go
over.
ahead and check. And if everyone in the chat, if you want to double check, see if you have Cami installed. And so it is an extension and you'll need to, it will not appear unless you can just search for Cami extension in your
Yeah, and I'm
URL.
trying to remember if I put it in this getting started with Cami. Okay, Tex, look at this. You silly dog. I'm trying to remember if I
Do
put
you
the
see it
link in
installed,
here.
James?
So you have to have, you will not, and your kids, this is a good thing this came up because, and I may not have put it in here.
Students all have it pushed and they can't actually turn it off. And so if you
Right.
give them
But
any
teachers,
PDF, it will open in Cami by
So
default because they can't turn it off.
I'm going to open this door. Hold on.
And so go ahead and check and see if you have that extension.
I figured it out. My mom's dog was on the other side of the door. I had closed.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. So y'all, and right up here, if you, so James, good lesson here. But if you don't have this turned on, you will never see that button. Students the same, but like Emily was saying, we have pushed it out to them, and I don't, like she said, they can't turn it off, but teachers can. Teachers can turn it on and off, and if they do that or they remove the extension or whatever, you won't ever get that button. So go ahead. I would go ahead and install it. And you can quickly, if you click over here on apps, the apps launcher, and you go to the web store, it's one of the, you'll see it somewhere in here. It's usually right there. It's close to the top usually. Right there it is. And you can click there and install it. Okay. While he's doing that, you may have to refresh your Schoology to get that button to pop up. But the rest of us, we're going to go ahead and go on. So click here on this text box over here, and you'll notice you have lots of choices on color. You can even get more than this right here. But go ahead and pick a color and just write your name. So just practice there with writing your name. That's an easy one. Now, the next question that's in here, there we go. And you can change the size and everything. Now, this was one you probably are used to, but this next button is the equation button. So here are all these symbols. And in this little area right here, what I want you to do is go ahead and write just a math problem with the equation. The client email was down. Oh, okay. You're okay. All right, so go ahead and use this and see if you can. So I'm going to, oh, let me see, I'm gonna put 3. Now let me get a plus sign here, plus 2 equals, because I was a first grade teacher, y'all. And you can change the size of this box here. Let me see if I can do it now that I've already, yeah. And that could have changed it here, but I didn't. But anyway, isn't this awesome? Now, this is part of the paid version. So we didn't have this before October, but look at all of this. And here's another little piece. And I don't know if y'all have scrolled down far enough, but look at this, how there are musical notes. I don't know if anyone in here is fine arts, but let me show you. I'm going to scroll all the way down for just a second, and you can do this as well. Scroll down and hit that little plus button. And one of the choices for pages that you can add, music. You can add a musical sheet. So think about our fine arts, teachers. There it is. So now under that equations, I can actually come over here. And now I could use these musical notes, okay, but I have to put a text box in there. But isn't that awesome how they can do that? So I just love that equation piece, because it's not just for, we think of math and science, but look all the way down at the bottom for our music and fine arts teachers. Okay. Any questions about that so far? I'm going to scroll back up, so you could have put a math problem in here. The next feature is also one we've had before, but there's lots of drawing. So quickly change this to your favorite color and draw a quick little flower. Oh, actually blue is my favorite color, but let me see. Let me get a better blue. There we go. All right, so I could draw me a little flower. So lots of little things that you can do. All right, quick there. All right, the next thing is also something we've done before, and that's with the shapes. Okay, so there are all kinds of little shapes and things that you can use here. You can insert lines. Ooh, look at that. Oh, I like that. All right, so put you some shapes in there. Ooh, I like how it's showing me those angles.
Me too.
Oh, I love that. Oh, okay. Now, here's something that we didn't have before. So this next piece is a media tool, and I love this. This is part of the paid version. So all the way over here where it says add media, I want you to click on that. And notice that you can upload things from your computer. So if you have a tutorial that you have made, and maybe it's a video that you've downloaded and it's now on your computer because you did it in Screencast-O-Matic or Screencastify, you can upload videos that you have stored in your drive from, you can search. I love this. I could go and search if I click this, and I could go find a Google search. And I love that everything it finds is copyright. You're not going to be in violation. But here's another cool thing. So look at this, YouTube. So I could, let me see if I can find that video. I've got that music video I was playing earlier. I'm going to copy that. So watch that. I'm going to paste the URL in here. I'm going to say, oh, it didn't like that one. I don't know what I did. What did I do wrong? Oh, there we go. I got to hit that. So there it is. So you have to hit that little button. And look at this. You can set when it's going to start. So maybe you find a video that you like of a tutorial and you only want it to start at like, so maybe it's a 10-minute video, but you want them to start at minute 2 or whatever. So you could set that. I'm just going to click and put it. But watch.
I can already imagine this being in a station and the teacher giving an example of what to do, and then the students try it on their own.
And not just, and look at this. So now they can play this video inside. I hit the button, sorry. Let me stop it. Where did this? There you go.
Or add music.
Love the 80s. All right. So anyway, but think about all the things like, and YouTube is great, but you know what? Kids are going to get more out of it if you do the tutorial and if you create the web thing. So you can use all kinds of like Screencast-O-Matic, Screencastify, Swivel has some things. So there are lots of places you can go to do a screen record. Maybe you want to add it in here showing them how to do that math problem. And now you've got 3 problems that you want them to work out and do after they've watched you do the tutorial. So lots of cool things there. And now one more thing, let's scroll down just a little bit more, but look here, add a comment somewhere on this document. You can highlight, so comments are up here, but look at this. When they go to comments, there's 3 kinds of comments they can make. They could do just a text comment. They can do a voice comment. So think about students, you giving feedback to students by leaving a voice comment on their document, and video comments. You can also do that. So quickly right now, you probably can't do the video one because we've got Zoom going on here, and I can't really do probably voice because anyway. So quickly, just do a little comment on yours. You're gonna, oops, I'm gonna hit this. There we go. And it pops up over here. And now I can leave a comment on the document. All right. Any questions about these features? I just wanted you to kind of see the simple things. We did a few of the new ones, the equation and the add media. So normally if you were in Schoology, and you could still do it here now, but you would want the kids to use that turn in button. We're not doing this for a grade. But anyway, that's what the kids would do. They would hit turn in and that sort of thing. I'm just going to close this tab up. I'm back to, where did I? Okay. So now let's go back into Cami. Any questions? Because Emily's there monitoring the chat and I'm kind of watching too. So let's go to the next one. It says text practice, because I want you to see some of the features on this. Once again, you're going to want to open with Cami. And for this one, I just put in no, you don't need to submit. We were just playing. I just wanted every one of you to have your own copy. And so what did she do to get her video? What did I do? Oh, I had to hit that little, okay, hold on, I can go back. Oh, I can just do it on top of this one. I went to add media. I went to YouTube. Let me see if I still have that. I pasted it. You have to hit this little button right here. That's what I had to hit. This little dog has become attached to me in the 4 days
It's
I've
like
had
a
it.
green refresh button.
Yeah, it's like a refresh button. You just click that and then you hit next. Does that answer your question, Jackie? Okay. Okay, good. All right, I'm gonna just cancel that out. Oh, okay, dog. All right. So here's what I want you to see, because when we think about our EL students, we think about our dyslexic students, we think about our students that we get that come from other districts that maybe they are not reading the way, you know, we all are, all of our other students are. So, you know, we always have kids who need some additional support. Okay, so what I want to show you is this read aloud, okay? And actually also the dictionary. So these are also paid features. He's going to start barking. So first I'm going to click on the dictionary. So make sure it's selected and turned red. And then, so let's say we have some kids who are struggling readers and they come over here and they don't really know what the word creatures means. So I'm going to highlight it and it's going to tell me that definition. Now I wish it would read it, but it doesn't do that. But it does give them the definition for that word. Maybe they don't know what a soldier is. And so here it is. And I don't know if you noticed, but look, I didn't highlight ants, but it did include here a wingless, is that cast of ant or termite with a large, I'm sorry, y'all, I can't read tonight. Okay, but it's a person that serves in the army, a soldier. Okay, lots of things there. So isn't that cool how that dictionary works? And think about our kids who need that little bit of support, that additional support. Let's see what it does for the word red. I was hoping it would push a little a color, but it didn't do that. But anyway, another thing I want you to see is this read aloud. So think about our kids who also they are struggling readers. All right, so I can hit, now watch this, I can hit read page.
A little about ants.
Can y'all hear
Copyright 2015 Read Works. Registered.
Could y'all hear my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So you can also highlight. So maybe if you just wanted to read that.
There are lots of different kinds of ants: carpenter ants, leafcutter ants, sweet ants, fire.
So all I did was I have read aloud selected and I just highlighted. Maybe a kid's a good reader, but maybe they're just struggling with one word.
Different.
So they can have just that word read to them. And then it'll go from, like, if you highlight a sentence and you go, I want to hear the next sentence, I want to hear this sentence. So lots of things. Oh, they can change the voice. Now, just because it says, is that Google Dutch? I think it just gives it a funky accent, like this English female is a British English female, and that sort of thing, or male. Anyway, they can change the speed. So think about the possibilities with our students that we get that are newcomers, ELs, dyslexic, and our SPED students, our 504 kids, that sort of thing. Okay, so any questions on that? I just kind of wanted to show you the dictionary and the read aloud for this activity. Okay, you can go ahead and close this out, and we weren't turning that in. We weren't going to do anything with that, and get back into Cami, or not Cami, Schoology. All right, now let me show you. This has become one of my favorite things, is this split and merge. So I'm going to show you how it works with my Cami over here. So actually, I'm going to close that out for just a second. I'm going to go to a new tab. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how it would start. So I would come over. So let's say I've got this PDF, and I realize that I don't want them to see all of it. Maybe I don't want all of the test questions, or I don't want all of that. So I'm going to just launch Cami. So I'm going to launch it by clicking on the extension. All right, give it a second.
I'm thinking about all those guides that are 20 pages long for students.
I know. So I'm going to say, now look at this. I've opened it up, and I could go get something out of my drive. All right, but I'm going to just go grab something on my computer. And I was in here. Let me see which one I'm going to get. I think I'll get this one. All right. So I've opened this up, and it's interesting because I've been in this document before, and I don't know if y'all noticed, but it opened it because it remembered I was in it earlier. All right, so here's this document, and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, look, but I don't want these kids to see the answers, because if I'm going to give them this, so I need to get rid of that page. Mm-hmm. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come over to the right-hand side. You see where the 3 lines are? I'll click there, and I'm going to go to split and merge document. So when this opens, it says it successfully loaded it. I'm going to continue to split merge. So it's going to open it up, and I can do several things here, because sometimes we have a PDF, we've got 2 PDFs, and we're like, I don't want them separate. I want to put them together. So you can do that. So let's say that I have loaded this one, and I decide, well, I really need to add one more PDF. I can drag and drop the PDF and drag it here, and it'll add it to it. I can go grab it from my drive and that sort of thing. We're not going to worry about that right now, but you could do that here. But I'm going to just say next, and we're going to continue on. And look what it's done. It took that PDF and it split it into pages. So look at all the pages that I have here. Let me move this video thing out of the way. All right. And as I scroll across, I'm like, well, I don't want those answers showing. So I'm going to click on that page, and right underneath I have the delete button. Maybe I decide, well, I really don't want them to have to worry about this question either. I could delete that as well. The other thing I can do is, once I add these documents together, I can move these pages around if I needed to rearrange my pages. Sometimes, how many times have you gotten a PDF though, and you upload it and the kids are having to look like this? Well, I could rotate pages and turn the pages so that, especially like Venn diagrams, you know how you get them and they're sideways? So you could rotate this if you need them to see it a different way. All right. If I decide now, oh, I do want to merge another doc with it, there's a button down here in the bottom corner. I can go add files, but I can also drag it or go back to this merge button here and merge it. But once I get my PDF exactly the way I want the number of pages, okay, then all I have to do is say export, and it's going to download. Now I could open it in Cami if I want. I'm just going to download it to my computer so that later I can upload it into Schoology as an assignment. I could store it in my Google Drive if I wanted to, but I'm just going to download it and I'm going to just send it off, and now it's done. And I say done. And now it has downloaded that PDF for me, and it no longer has those pages that I didn't want the kids to do. Now I can go back to Schoology and I can open it up and I can go add an assignment and upload it the way I want them to see it. Okay, so I love this split merge. When you later go and open this up, I have the page here, and also, oh, my nose is itching. Down at the very bottom, I made a video, and there it is that you can watch with step-by-step instructions on how to do that. Man, I don't know what is wrong with my nose. Okay, so that's one thing you can do. Now, another great thing that you can do is working collaboratively. So we're going to do this. So what I want you to do is click on this where it says work collaboratively. Now, this is a cool thing, and I've got the step-by-step instructions here. All right. But what I want you to do is right now, I want everyone to click on this link. So go ahead and open that folder that says work collaboratively. And now I want you to click on this highlight, this teal color here, and say this link. And what you're going to see is we are now all on the exact same document at the exact same time. And look down here at the bottom. It's showing me who all's in here. So now what I want you all to do is, it says here, add your full name somewhere on this document. You can use a text box or you can use the draw tool. So I want everyone to go ahead and add your name somewhere on there onto the document. Look at that. I see everybody's names going in there. Isn't this cool? So you could have kids working collaboratively together. And do you notice how it's, and when y'all popped on, but it's color coding them, and I'm trying to remember here. Oh, I've got more.
And I think back to my classroom, the disasters of when I would try to get too many kids on a Google Doc at the same time. It's so messy, and this really isn't too messy.
No, it's not. And I'm trying to see if it's color. It doesn't look like it's, I was thinking it might be color coded, but do you see how when I put my cursor on still have not accessed? Okay. Do you see how when I put my cursor on top of this, it tells me the person so I can see who all is in this document, who made that. So I know it's easy for me to know that that's Jackie, but let's say that we were doing a Venn diagram and I was having kids brainstorm and fill things in, and I wanted to see who put this answer in. Then I could put my cursor on top of it and I would see who wrote that box or who added that. And it doesn't even matter if it's a text box or like, looks like Aaron here used the drawing tools. So it's still telling me who did this. Now, what I probably should have done on this one, I did it pretty fast today when I was adding this in, because y'all could easily, because here is the thing you need to know. I think, can y'all delete this box? See if y'all can delete it. It doesn't look like it's letting me delete.
No, I can't delete it.
Okay, good. Perfect. Because one thing I was reading when I was researching all this is it was saying if you're worried about somebody getting in and changing or move, can y'all move the box?
I can't move in. I can't delete anyone else's.
Perfect.
I can hover and see whose is whose, but I cannot, or who wrote.
Right. Okay, good. Well, yeah, that's good. Because one thing I was reading, it said if you're worried about them deleting or getting in there, you could always type this first, download it as a PDF, and then upload it back in. But I didn't do that, and it looks like y'all can't change my things, and that's perfect. Yay, I'm loving it. Okay, so think about this as collaboration, because we want our kids working together and doing things in partners and working alongside each other. So a great way, and you can see, especially if you put them in pairs and you assign this to 4 or 5 people to do this, you can see how much that each person did.
And Karen, how did you get this link? How did you, because
Okay,
you
yeah,
didn't assign.
and you're right, I didn't. So, oh look, somebody found the stickers
Oh,
and
cute.
loves it. All right, so here's how I did it. So once you get your doc set up, and I actually started this from scratch when I opened Cami. So I just got the line paper and all that. But once you get it all set up the way you want it, all you do is go to this little share button right here and you click it. And because I've already done it, it's the same link from earlier, but there's the link that I pasted in to Schoology. So I just clicked this little copy button. But here's where I edited this. Now look at this. Create individual copy. I didn't even see that earlier when I was playing around. So I could have done this where it would have given each kid their own copy, but I wanted this to be a collaborative feature. Now I could turn it off too down here so that they cannot download and print this file if I didn't want them to. But
It could be a good opportunity for them to create something together and then have that resource.
Yeah. All right, so that's what I did. And when you first click on it, it automatically sets this up to anyone with the link can be the editor. You just can change it, but it'll defeat the purpose if you make them a viewer only. Then they're not going to be able to edit. But anyway, I just love this collaboration piece. All right, so I'm going to close this out. Let's go back to, and I do have step-by-step instructions there on that video there as well. So let's go into this working collaboratively in Cami and think about, so share one way you might envision using Cami collaboratively in your classroom. And I'm going to take a drink after I've been talking here. So anyone have some great ideas on how you could use this? Oh yeah, and Aaron, you're right. Because in a Google Doc, I believe they can remove other people's comments and work. And the only way to see if that's happened is to go to the version history. And so that's time consuming. So
another thing they can do in Google is that I didn't have too much trouble with in the classroom, but I heard other teachers of them sharing their documents. So if you do turn off the download, they wouldn't be able to share their work with other groups.
Yeah, that would be true. And they can't print it either, right? Because didn't it say can't print
yeah,
or
it can't download or print. And so that might be a way to prevent students from sharing the work with other. I heard it would happen. You do an activity in first period and third period would already have it.
You know what? It says locks on Monday. Oh, this was something else I brought in. But is anybody making a comment, or are they not able to? Or is...
No, one person, if you refresh.
Oh, I had to refresh then. I'm like, why is it not showing me? Oh, you know what? Is it? Oh, there they go. There they go. There they go. Yay. So yeah, instead of post for grammar. Okay, yeah. Oh, correct the grammar. Yep, and you can see it in real time. I love that. Yep. Lots of good ideas. Very good. Okay. So let's get back out of this. I'm going to go back to the beginning. Now, this next folder, I'm going to give you, well, this is just in here. You can go back in and you don't need to worry about, well, we're not going to worry about the discussion board at the very bottom, but each of these, I kind of have just some suggestions. We'll look at one, but these are in here for you to come back and look at another time. If just some ideas. So think about this in a language arts classroom. Defining words, the dictionary tool gives them easy access to definitions when they are, when they meet a new word they don't quite understand and they're reading a passage, instead of them having to ask you, what does this mean? It gives them, they don't, that instant dictionary, instead of them having to even go find a dictionary in the classroom. So they don't lose their pace of their reading and understanding. They can quickly look at it. Closed reading exercises, giving them those markup tools to show those reading strategies when they're reading those longer passages, when you're trying to build stamina and getting them to mark. I love showing those strategies because we know in STAR, we're trying to train them to mark, to use those strategies as they're reading those passages. I love the text-to-speech tool, being able to help those struggling readers. Oh, here's another great idea that I thought about, was using that audio comment feature. So if they open up a document, maybe do a quick fluency check so you can see how well they're reading. Tell them you're listening for fluency. You're going to score them on that fluency, and then have them use the audio comment feature, and they just highlight the title of the story and then do the audio and read the passage to you, and you can quickly see their skills with their reading. Did they go right past those periods because they're not pausing? Did they, transpose words, whatever that you're looking at? And then you can come back and listen to them read later. How many times do we have to pull them in the classroom and get a quick fluency check on them? How long does that take you? So you could quickly give everyone, they could do it in 15 minutes, give everybody on the computer, and then later that night, you could go back and listen to them read. So lots of just different ideas in here on, ideas for math, ideas for science and social studies and SPED. I liked this, and because I'm a first grade teacher, I don't know, I don't get into these equations, but I put this tip when I was researching this about the exponents and the multi-line calculations. You can add exponents in using that equation thing with the shift plus the 6 key. I don't know, you math people probably understand what that's talking about. I'm a first grade teacher by heart. But anyway, look at that. Over 60 math symbols that you can use in here. Oh, I like this idea. Using the screen capture comment, because it captures them writing and working, and have them record themselves explaining how they're working that math problem. Okay.
And that was actually the feature that was my favorite, is actually that student recording that I think is just so valuable.
I know it. And somebody's asking, they don't have a stylus. Well, if it's a touch screen, they can always use their finger. And I know that might be too big, but a lot of times you can get, if I don't know, what do you recommend for styluses? Anymore, I'm seeing pins all the time that have the little stylus on the end of it that you could use, that you could get a class set. Julie, what are you, what campus are you? I'm just trying to.
No?
Are you Hildebrand? So their devices, the Chromebooks they don't come with a stylus, but it is a touch screen, so they can use their finger. But I don't know, styluses, I'm not sure where would be the best place to get a class set if you really needed it. But I'm seeing a lot more like schools having that on their supply list at the beginning of the year. if you're really thinking they need a stylus, that's an idea as well. All right. I thought I heard they did not want us to use certain types of styluses. Have you heard that, Emily?
I have
You
not.
know, IT doesn't tell us what's in their brains half the time. I don't know. I have not heard. I know they're worried sometimes about Bluetooth, so the screen doesn't get ruined.
Oh,
Well, I don't know.
I
Yeah.
would check. I would check with Tony. He's
Yeah, check
the
with your.
repair center, and just see what options there are.
Yeah. And also, you do have some with the bubble tips. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I have one more. Okay. We're almost out of time. So this is just an example I put in here so you could see a type of assignment. And this one, is it opening? There it goes. So it's kind of what Emily was saying. In the assignment below, I'm telling the kids to read the story. Then I want them to record a video summary on the Cami assignment of what they read. Be sure to answer the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, why. So they're going to read the passage and then they're going to record a video summary of what that story is about. I know I just love anytime we can get the kids talking and explaining their thinking and all of that. So that's just in there for you to look at another time. Emily, why don't you go ahead and tell this last bit, because Emily did a great job today grabbing.
Well, I was just thinking,
lots of these.
I came from the world language classrooms. I didn't have a lot of PDFs, but what I did do is I did so many things on paper, like Venn diagrams and different graphic organizers. So I was thinking, how might a teacher that is in a similar situation use this if they're not really just not using a worksheet, they want to do something else. So I created this little graph here, and this is a new feature with Adobe. It was Adobe Spark, now known as Adobe Creative Cloud Express. That if you are anyone in the district does have access, so all students have access to Adobe Creative Cloud Express. Is a mouthful. But we have some different libraries here, and then on the very right top hand corner, that just came from Cami. Yes, if you want to go ahead and click on that one first, we'll start there.
Okay.
This is just a blog post made by Cami that has some ideas of how to get started. So if you don't have a PDF available, but you want to try something, I like that Karen was showing that you can just go in and use lined paper or use it. It might have been Aaron who said it earlier in the chat. Someone said just a blank sheet, but that's a great way to get started too. But I kind of like these as well, because these are just really simple PDFs. So just some different ideas that you guys could use. And then if you go back, Karen, what I did is I came up with 3 different categories. So many of you probably know in the bottom right-hand corner, KWL. So that's what do I know? What do I wonder? And then what did I learn? So students would fill this out, and we actually gave you the Adobe. I didn't give you PDFs. I gave you the Adobe Spark version. So you can customize them to be exactly what you want your students to use. And so Adobe Spark is super simple. What you would actually do is you would create, so you click on one that you like, and you can change any of the fonts, you can change any of the backgrounds.
You're gonna say
if it does ask you, you log in with Google, and it's always, I think, personal or enterprise. We're the school account, so always enterprise. And that it asks you that frequently, even if you've logged in before.
I know.
But then you can't customize it exactly how you like, add different pictures. You can add your own pictures. And then after it's creating it for you. So it's taking it from our library, and it's going to make you a copy and put it into your library. And once you've customized it, you can download it as a PNG, JPEG, or PDF. But Karen, Cami would be just PDFs, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you'd want to make sure that when you download it, it's the bottom. I think it's the bottom option. I think you can only download 3. might give you a fourth type, but definitely download as a PDF. It's
Maybe.
taken a
It's
hot minute
taken
here.
us a little bit, but anyway,
So there are some resources
why.
there. So there's the KWL. I also gave you some essay planning, and someone, who said it earlier? It was Brandy. She said a character web. So I put some concept maps in there. You see, you don't have to click it, Karen, but you can see that little sandwich organizer. That's for writing a story. It was so cute. So we added that in there. And then this is just something that students could do. There was the top left one was, is the 5 things we learned. So that could be collaborative, but if you wanted to change it to I learned, it could be individual as well. With those other 2 on the left there, today I learned about, but I still wonder, there's something else. So that could be an exit ticket for your students. So these are just some different ideas to kind of get you started if you don't have a PDF available. And you could create your own Adobe Spark, any PDF creator. So those are just some resources for you to kind of get started with Cami. And I think that's our last, I guess the last thing we should remind everyone is our webinars, right? Before we go.
Yep. And we're gonna do prizes, but yeah, down at the bottom here, is it linked to our?
Is it not? Did I mess? Oh no.
Nope. I don't
was
know.
like, what?
I was trying to think. Is it linked though? Oh, there it is. Here's the link for our website. I didn't see it. Yeah, so you can just go to our website and we have all of we've got 2 more, right? For this year that we're doing. And then we probably will stop for a while as we start to get ready for Empower. That's our big technology conference that we're going to present in June.